will fall at the end of days. Now, Yismach ben David, Shehu me told us Yitzchak. Yismach ben David, Shehu me told us Yitzchak. That's a Balaturim. That's a Pshat, that's a Vort, and that's a Tefillah. It's a Tefillah also. Okay. So we've been speaking about different ways to be mischazik ourselves and mischazik Klal Yisrael. And we had two shirim on that. One, the first one was by being mischazik the family. Your wife, the family, closer together, treating each other with kavod, with respect, right? That's the first way to improve ourselves and help the situation, help the war. The second one, we talked about the milas of Eretz Yisrael, the beauty, the importance, the greatness of Eretz Yisrael, so that we would feel the closeness to Eretz Yisrael, and that's a way also to uplift ourselves that we should be worthy of a nitzachon in this war. Today I'm going to do something else. Today I'm going to talk about Derech Eretz. I was inspired by the different parshias, Vanisara and Vayera, and I want to speak a little bit about Derech Eretz. That if we improve, if we work on our Derech Eretz, I'm going to define what Derech Eretz means and give examples. If we improve it and work on it, then we can make ourselves worthy of Hashem's rachamim and chesed that we need so much. So first of all, let's define what it means. Let's define what Derech Eretz means. In Shir Chumash, Rav Wolbe spoke about it a lot in these parshias. He spoke about Derech Eretz, and this is his definition. His definition is like this: that behavior we understand to be right and appropriate without instruction. Nobody told us this. There's no specific mitzvah that this is the way you have to act. There's no chiyuv to do something. It's that it's a behavior that we understand to be right and appropriate without being told, without instruction. That's derech eretz, right? And also a second definition, a second aspect of it. There's a medrash Bamidbar Rabbah that says Yafet Talmud Torah im Derech Eretz, right? That it's beautiful Talmud Torah with Derech Eretz. Sheyagia Shnehem, because working for Derech Eretz and for and learning the Mishkach HaSavan, to forget, to be able to escape transgressions. So this is another aspect of Derech Eretz, which the Rebbe, you can understand it. It's Yiras Shamayim, but you can understand it also as Chesed. The Talmud Torah with Chesed, Yishneim brings you to forget Avon. That's how the Ali Shul learned that. I was talking about Chesed. Okay. So if we let's say, how do we do Derech Eretz, right? Firstly, I want you to know the Vilna Gaon says, the Gror says that there's 313 mitzvahs. Those are general commandments. But the specific details of the mitzvahs and what our behavior should be are endless. And the Gemara says, otherwise, he said, why should we have parshas like Chayesor V'Yareh, where there's not even one mitzvah? In Parshas V'Yareh, there's not even a mitzvah, not even one of the 613 mitzvahs. Right? But as Rabbi taught us, right, it's a Shulchan Aruch on Chesed and Derech Eretz, the chiyuv of doing Derech Eretz. And that's what these parshas are. That's what these parshas are. And you know, I mean, that's what Chazal are telling us, that some halachas are just mentioned as a remez on a yud, and here you have the whole parsha of Eliezer repeated twice, lengthy, right? Why? Because it's teaching us Derech Eretz. Yafes Sichosim Shel the Avos. It's teaching us Derech Eretz. So let me let me tell you something. Let me tell you a chiddush in the Shulchan Aruch of Derech Eretz. Let me tell you a chiddush. We have in the parsha V'yisa Einav V'yare V'hine Shlosha Anashim Nitzavim Alav. Avram Avinu looked up and he saw that there were three men, three dusty Arabs coming towards him. V'yare V'yaratz. He saw them. It says, first of all, he says V'yasei Nav V'yare, he saw, and it says again V'yare V'yaratz. He saw them and he ran to greet them from his home, right? And he Pesach Ohel V'yishtachu Arza, and he bowed down to them. So Rashi says there, Mahu V'yare V'yare. It says it twice, right? Why does it say it twice? Right? It says V'yar V'hine Shlosha Anashim V'yar V'yarutz. So it says it twice. And why does it say it twice? And he says the first one is K'mashmo, he saw them. The second one, he was misbonen. He contemplated. Havana, Lashon Havana, right? And he saw that they were nitzavim b'makom echad. They were standing in one place. That these three were standing in one place. Ve'evinu, and he understood. Havana, yeah. Shayu roitzim, shalayu roitzim latrichu. You have to understand over here, right? They stood in one place. They did not go to meet Avram Avinu. They didn't go to meet him. Now here it is a situation. It was a sweltering hot day, and Avram Avinu was not a young man. It was an elderly man, and he just had an operation. He just had his bris, so he wasn't well. It was the third day, right? And yet they didn't walk towards him. The midah of chesed would demand that they would walk towards him so that he doesn't have to run to them, because they knew for sure that he's running to them, right? But it says, Rashi says, they amdu b'mkomam lechvodo, to honor him. Why? Because since he wanted to run to them, he wanted to do this mitzvah of chesed, right? So that it was covered for him to go and to serve these strangers. Leave Hashem, leave his. He talked to that one son. Leave his prophecy at the moment and go and serve these strangers. So so what do we see here? So the Ali Shur pointed out, we see here that when it comes to a question of doing a chesed for somebody, or for helping, working towards his kavod, giving him kavod, kavod comes first. Kavod comes first. It was kavod that the malachim, the angels, did not walk towards him; they stood there, right? Had it been chesed, they would have walked towards him. So we see that that kavod comes first. That's a chiddush in the Shulchan Aruch of Derech Eretz. That when it comes to chesed and kavod comes first. The whole parsha, right? Eliezer's meeting of with Rivka, right, is a Shulchan Aruch on the mitzvah of Derech Eretz, which is Chesed and Chesed, right? And we see there also a Chiddush, right? I might think like this: you come and ask me to do something for you. Come and ask me, fill up, give me something to drink. Okay, so aren't I doing a Chesed when I give you to drink? That's also Chesed, right? But you see from here that the real definition of Chesed, at least the definition for the home of Avram Avinu, to be in the home of Avram Avinu, the real definition of Chesed for Yitzchak Avinu, a wife for Yitzchak, right, is that it's not enough to be asked to do something and you do it. You have to do more. You have to do more on your own. You have to add on your own thing to make it a chesed. I'll give you to drink, and then I'll fill it up, and I'll give the camels to drink also. Each of the camels to drink. The Ali Shur said, he had all his avadim over there. He certainly had enough people to go and give the camels a drink, and they did nothing. And she went and she filled up, and she gave the camels to drink. Right, and she was a very special Rivka. Avram Avinu saw that. Eliezer saw right away because the water went up to greet her when she walked towards the well. Anyhow, so that's the definition of chesed according to the Shulchan Aruch of Derech Eretz. According to the Shulchan Aruch of Derech Eretz, and that's also a chiddush. That's also a chiddush. I'm sure that we can all find ways. First of all, to be able to do Derech Eretz, the first thing you have to do is to stop and say, what is the situation? What is happening here? Something is happening. What should be my response? How can I do the proper thing? Let's say something's happening, but there's no particular mitzvah. There's no chiv mitzvah. But I have to ask myself, in this particular situation, what is the best thing for me to do? What is my proper response? If I can do a chesed, if I can help somebody out, if I can, what's my proper? That's what everybody has to think through in order to find what the obligation of Derech Eretz is mechayev us to do. That's what we have to think through. And in the situation now, we're in the midst of a war. Shabbos was very difficult. We've lost a lot of lives, a lot of young people. Few are 24, 25, but most of them are 20, 21. People just beginning their lives, and they're fighting a very difficult war. And the enemy is just mind-boggling because they are held up in mosques, in hospitals, they're going to have to go into that hospital sooner or later. The whole world will condemn us, but that's where the commanders are. They're going to have to go into the hospital. It's the tunnels. They can be doing one thing, and all of a sudden, people came out of a tunnel and shot them. It's a very difficult situation. So we have to ask ourselves, what can we do? Each one could think in a little bit better, derech eretz, a little bit better, responding to other people's needs. I'm sure each of us can find something to do in derech eretz and chesed to help our fellow Jews and to be a merit, a schus for the people that are risking their lives and giving up their lives so that we can be safe, so that we can continue in Eretz Yisrael. And I want to thank all you fellows for davening for my wife. I just want to share with you. I shared with you whenever, all the things that we went through, but I want to share with you that this Shabbos I was at the hospital. I was in Hadassah Hospital, and my daughter dragged a wheelchair and wheeled out Tzipi, and it was the first time, 12 weeks, she bench licht. It's a very, very big simcha for us. Very special. Thanks for your tefillas, fellows. Thanks so much for your tefillas. I'm sure that's what did it. And once again, we end with the Balaturim for the few guys that joined us. The Balaturim, the end of the Parsha. Al Panei Kol Echav Nofal, not Rashi's first shot, but another shot, it means to fall. It says the Balaturim, V'samach lei ve'elu toldos Yitzchak, Lomar, to tell you, Yishmael b'achris hayomim, when Yishmael will fall in the end of days, Yismach ben David will grow. Shehu told us Yitzchak. Ben David will come, the Mashiach will come, told us Yitzchak, and together, Mr. Shem, you can join us tonight, tomorrow, soon, in Yerushalayim, Yirah Kodesh. We can dance together with Binyan by Shlishi and Himo Yemena. Thank you, fellas, for joining.
Mash, do you have another minute?
Thanks, Rebbe.
Of course I do.
I just want to ask. Eli Beer spoke about his meeting with Reb Chaim Kanievsky, Zichron Livracha, about triaging when there's a terrorist and there's a Jew. And he said that who comes first? If in the normal triage protocol, you would treat the terrorist first, what's the din? And I didn't hear it from him, but he reportedly said, Reb Chaim told him, first you go to the terrorist and you kill him. And then you shoot him. And then you
That's
go.
what he said.
I mean, listen, halachically, there's no argument about that. But it's hard to believe that anybody would publicize such a thing. So that makes it all suspect if Reb Chaim actually said that. Because it makes no sense to me anyway. Yeah, we know the halakha. You have a terrorist, he's out to kill you. And if you save him, he's just going to go and kill other people. And we understand 100%.
Yeah, you have to say what he was telling you. He was telling you that terrorist is a rotseach.
Right.
He's a roidef. He's a roidef.
Yes.
He's running after you. And
For
the
sure.
halacha of roidef is that you have to
I
eliminate
understand,
him.
but the question is, why?
There's no suffix. I saw it written up. I saw it put down by pretty good sources.
Yeah. Okay. I don't understand why he published.
I don't know if I would say it over right now, but I mean, but he's saying he's a roidef. He's a roidef.
For sure. There's no question that he's a right. But there are a lot of things that are halachically so, but that we don't have the capability to deal with it, to do it. I mean, and besides the bleeding hearts, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about halachically. The things that are 100%. Okay, somebody who hides a roidev is also a roidev.
He was asked the shaila the Maisa can I
Right.
go and say you first? I don't think he expected the person to actually do the first part of his.
Yeah, I mean, I heard somebody say that was,
but certainly
it was
he
halacha, not
understood
lemaisa.
that
Maybe
he
it
goes
wasn't even
save the
halacha.
Jew's life. He goes save the Jew's.
Oh,
I think,
that's for
I think,
sure.
I think it's a musser. We're so afraid of what everyone else is going to think. No, know what the right thing is. Just do the right thing. In this case, if that's the right thing, don't worry so much about everyone else.
Well, we've had situations. I don't know if you guys remember, but I'm sure the Mash does. The hijacked bus on Kvish Achov, where the Israelis managed to recapture the bus, and they shot one of the terrorists who was already down. This was 30 years ago, 35 years ago. It was a whole, and the world went mad. Never mind the world, the Israelis went Meshiga. This is not how we behave. This is not what we do. And he was ready. And then we just had this whole story a few years ago with the soldier who shot the terrorist who was down. And he said he thought it was.
He's moving.
Yeah. I'm like, so, Ari, you're muted.
Yeah, but the IDF has. I spoke to a special forces guy. He says if there's a terrorist and there's a hostage, they'll shoot the hostage to get the terrorist. So that's how they're trained.
They'll shoot the hostage to get to the terrorist. Okay. Why? Because this way they lose one hostage and save all the future hostages. I don't think that's in line with halacha.
It's not halacha, it's IDF.
I don't think that's bullshit.
I think if the terrorist is already neutralized and there's hostages, the situation and
No,
circumstances
that's different.
are
They said
different. When we need
Right.
intel, then
Yes.
we have to save his life in order to save more lives. That's
No, that's 100% true. We've played this game too many times. We've given 1,000 terrorists for one hostage, and then how many more people were killed by these 1,000 terrorists that we let go? And that's ridiculous, and that's totally against halacha. That's clear.
My wife has been asking a question on that exchange of 1,000 terrorists. Was that done at all with Das Torah?
No, I don't believe so.
As far as I remember, they did not ask a shaila. They did not ask a shaila. And
I think had they asked the shaila, they would have been told, "B'shum panim v'ofen, there's no way you're allowed to do that."
All right. These are issues that are very complex and very difficult, and I'm not so sure that they should be discussed in this format or even over the air. Let's just daven hard that we see Yeshua's and the Hamas and that our boys are safe. Our boys are safe.
By the way, Mash, somebody from my unit contacted me. I was doing in the army the same thing the Mash was doing, identifying dead soldiers.
And now they have the hardest. I
know. So I spoke to one of the guys. I said to him, "If you need me, let me know. I'm coming. I'm on the way."
My son Yerachmiel went to visit somebody, a friend of his that is doing that right now. Zaka is doing the most work now. Zaka is doing that work, and they say that's the most difficult thing. You have no idea because they have the work of identifying the part, whatever. It's very hard.
So Zaka today, which by the way, I don't know if the Mash knows, Zaka is an offshoot of our unit. Somebody who left the Yakam, Yechidat Kavuramat Kali, he's the one who started Zaka. But Zaka as our unit. But Zaka only deals with civilian. all the army stuff is dealt with the army. And with the army today, and this is very interesting, they remember Tagit Bamakom, right? The dog tag in the right place, that was considered like an absolute proof that we got the right guy. Especially if they have two dog tags, one in the shoe, one around the neck. Today they don't hold by any of this. It's fingerprints and DNA. And every soldier who is still alive, who was ever in the army, any Israeli who was ever in the army, his fingerprints on file, they've all been digitized and put into the database. Every soldier going in for the last 25 years already has to give up a DNA sample, which is not analyzed. But if Khalila he's killed, or they suspect that it's him, they analyze the DNA sample to compare it with the soldier they have. So it's actually much easier today in the army to identify because we have all these biometrics on file for every soldier. Zaka is dealing with civilians. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, very, very tough.
Shem should give them all the koach.
Amen.
Yeah, we shouldn't need either of them.
Amen. All right,
Mamash.
Mash. Thank you very much.
Mash.
Okay, fellas, have a
Rebbe.
yes.
So on a happier note, if you can give me a bracha, my son's getting married in about
Mazel tov.
2 hours.
Mazel tov, mazel
Mazel
tov.
tov.
A lot of nachas,
Only
a
simchas.
lot of nachas from him and from them,
Yeah.
from the family he built. A lot of nachas.
It's a shame because Rabbi Slavin was supposed to be in Baltimore for the Neve thing, but obviously he had other
I see
work
the-
kind of started. That kind of crashed his plans. So
Are you in Baltimore?
yeah,
Okay.
Huh.
Tempted to go down Tuesday, but
Please give the chassan a mazel tov from me.
thank you, Rabbi.
okay, Mash. Zagabench. Bye bye.
Okay, call to everybody. Shalom, shalom.
Okay, thank you.
A service.